Hey everybody, it's Annette. It's going to be a little bit different than my normal videos. Definitely more serious in topic. I've been having this weigh on me for a while, and I think it's time just to lay it all out, and consequences, whatever. I spent my whole life watching my dad. He quoted from a book all the time. None dare call it conspiracy. My dad spent most of his life's work on the JFK assassination case. 1963, November, we had a president who did not want to go to war. He said no. He stood up for what he believed in, and he was publicly executed in front of the nation by a lone gunman, Lee Harvey Oswald. All the ballistics, all the science behind that, all the things as we go down the line, fast forward to 2026, earlier than that, we know that was a crock of crap. Yet that's what we were told. And anybody who ridiculed that was called a conspiracy theorist. He spent his whole life standing by that, what he believed in, that it was not a single gunman. And I also want to bring up some other things too, because in all the drama and the conversations regarding what happened on September the 10th, 2025, I'm not going to bring up any names, name drops. I don't need them for my videos. I don't need to ridicule someone else by calling their name out loud to get clickbait. Listen to me, don't listen to me. I'm old enough to where I give zero craps. But I will say this. Believe what you will, but if you have not picked up on some inconsistencies, then apparently you believe everything you're told. In 2020 through 2023, I spent the better part of that hellhole wondering if I was going to have an income. Doctors were being silenced. Medical people, military people were getting cut because they did not want to put something in their body that they did not feel was in their best interest. We were called domestic terrorists. We were ridiculed. We were told it was our fault that we were the spreaders. I could have folded to that and gone with the flow. I didn't. A lot of people didn't, because we may have had certain medical conditions, certain reasons why we did not want to put something in our bodies that was really new, and that you had the overall TV celebrities, even the president at that time, stating there are no side effects. Name me one drug on this whole earth, one, that has zero side effects for anybody. You can't, because that does not exist. Our body chemistries are all different. We all have different reactions to things. Yet for whatever reason, this miraculous drug in 2020 through 2023 had no side effects. Why aren't you taking it? You could lose your job. So, I put it in God's hands. I told God, I said, this is way bigger than me. please take the wheel on this one, because I have things that I'm concerned with that would be a problem if I put this in my body. Ridiculed. A conspiracy theorist. I am my father's child. So, indiscrepancies regarding September 10th, 2025. Yet, I have not seen one video, and there may be one out there. And if there is, I'm glad they've done it. And I thank you for doing it. I have one question for you. Why hasn't anybody brought up the hundreds of students, young children, who are going into adulthood? I worked with them. I worked with kids like that for 13 years. 18 to 22-year-olds or something like that, however old they are when they're in college. They're kids, they're impressionable. They're away from home for the first time. They were there in the middle of a field seeing another man who did not want to go to war being publicly executed. He had CPR, he didn't have CPR. He had a neck of steel. Oh, no, that was the wrong bullet. It didn't match the gun. There's lots of inconsistencies. I give zero craps what anybody else thinks. I see inconsistencies. But I want to know, why hasn't anybody given those kids a second thought? Imagine you're at a college event, regular day, you got somebody coming, you're a young, impressionable person, and you witness that. The trauma. Who talks about that? Nobody. At least nobody that I've heard of. That it's all so-and-so did it, or so-and-so did it. So-and-so's right, so-and-so's wrong. And it's said at the end of times, there would be this kind of division. Mothers against daughters, fathers against sons, families, just division. It's happening. So don't be surprised. We're not surprised. But I'm telling you, if you've not seen or picked up on some of these inconsistencies, and if trust the science is the way you want to roll, then trust whatever's going on right now and believe everything you're being fed. Because until I hear and see consistencies, if somebody's telling the truth, they are consistent. You don't hear one thing from one person and another thing on another person, or one thing from one person one day and different thing the next day. And I will not reduce myself to calling out names of people who are questioning that. They have a right to. Like I have a right to refuse to put something in my body I didn't want to. So, I'd rather perhaps if we could focus on what's true, what's not true. We may never find out on this side of heaven. But it clearly states in Scripture, all things shall be revealed. So why are we arguing? Nobody's going to agree on a lot of this. But some of the comments that I see, some of the comments that I've heard, it was the same thing with, who you voted for. Oh, you're in a cult. Same thing with the anti-vaxxers. You're a conspiracy theorist, you're in a cult. You know how many times I've heard that, and I heard so much of that getting thrown at my dad growing up? I'm titanium. I'm titanium. And what I care about are the young people who got traumatized. What I care about is a young man who was assassinated publicly because he didn't want to do things people wanted him to do. We know that. May have been, I think we're looking at our modern day Lee Harvey Oswald. I don't care if you agree with me or not. I want you to ponder on it. Take some of the focus off of this bickering back and forth and focus on these young people who were traumatized, because I've yet to see one person do that. So, step into someone else's shoes for a while. Consider those young people's feelings and the trauma they're probably still enduring that everybody seems to ignore. And perhaps get off your high horse, if you're on a high horse, and continue with the name calling if you want to. Adult, it's shameful if you're reduced to that, but guess what? People were wanting to throw us in prison during the you know what. They actually did social experiments where they were going around to people. Do you think these people who won't take it should be put in jail till they decide to take it? Our own fellow Americans were ready to have other Americans thrown in jail till we took it. It's going to be things we have to stand up for. And we may be completely wrong about whatever we're standing up for, but with faith and with conviction, bring it on. I'm Titanium. Peace out.